Hey Sunshines, it's Kristy and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my kitchen. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a meal delivery service review on a box specifically for Instant Pots. I'll link that video down below. You guys loved it, but I got so many questions in the comments and messages on Instagram asking me if I could find a box exclusively for crock pots. Challenge accepted, guys. So I did a deep dive through the internet and I found one company that I thought I had to bring to us. First of all, their name is called What a Crock. I mean, how adorable is that for a crock pot meal delivery kit service? I love the play on words. But as soon as I clicked on the website, I knew this is the one for us. You guys, they have over 50 entrees. It is a small family-run business out of Philadelphia. And if you live in the Philadelphia metro area, you can actually just stop by their retail location and pick up your order, which I think is really great. But what I liked was, like I said, there's over 50 entrees and they had it divided. The website's done really well by vegan and vegetarian options, chicken options, pork options, seafood options, beef options. They have desserts and you can just get sauces and side dishes, you guys. I did not see this when I ordered it, but they have this like maple bacon mac and cheese. Oh, I'm definitely gonna be ordering that. But another thing that I really liked about them is you can get a one-time box. Like say you have a family member who just had a baby a couple of states over and you want to do something for them, this would be a great way to help support them. My dad had surgery last week and I wasn't even thinking, but this would have been the perfect thing to send them like 2 or 3 meals. I probably am still going to do that. So if you're looking for just a one-time box, you want to try it, or maybe you want to gift it to somebody, I think that's great. But if you decide that you like it, you can get a reoccurring payment set up. You can do weekly boxes, you can do bi-weekly, so every other week, or you can do monthly boxes. If you do that, you can cancel at any time and you're actually able to skip. I just went over to the website and the first time that I looked at it, I didn't see these meals, but they have like all fall meals. Like they have this apple cider, I think it was a pork tenderloin. Oh my gosh, it looked amazing. So it does look like they update their meals seasonally, which I think is really great too. So everything is done by portion. One of the things I hear when I review these meal delivery kits is we have 3 people. I can get a meal for 2 people. I can get a meal for 4 people, but they do it by portion. So you can get as many portions as you want. Now the portions are between 1.5 pounds and 2 pounds each. So they're gonna feed a really, really hungry person or 2 lighter appetite type people. So a lot of times when I cook, I will share a portion of something with my daughter. So like if you're a mom, dad, and you have 2 little kids, you could probably get away with 3 portions, which I thought was really great too. So they totally shipped very, very quickly. It shipped in this box. It was all covered in dry ice. And full disclosure, when I found this website, I contacted the company because I always want to find a discount code for you. You guys know I work really hard for that. They actually came back to me and said, I wasn't expecting this, and said, hey, we saw your channel. We really like it. We'd like to work with you. Could we send you some meals? So all of these meals were sent to me. They did ask if my family had any type of allergies or food restrictions. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know my husband is diabetic. He's also allergic to shrimp. Ugh. I love shrimp. Anyway, and so they just asked me to pick a few meals. One of the meals I picked actually has pasta as a side dish, and one of the meals I picked actually has potatoes in it. But if you have a diabetic in your family, you know sometimes you just keep a bag of salad or some fresh vegetables that you can roast really quickly in your oven, so it's not gonna be a problem. I tried to pick a couple of different things that I thought we would all like, but I also saw on the website, you guys, they have these stuffed peppers that are like stuffed with like taco meat. Oh my gosh, those looked really good too. I have to say, I'm gonna definitely order some more, but we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take you along and I'm gonna show you what I got. So like I said, it came in this box and I did not ask for this. I didn't even really, to be honest with you, see it the first time that I opened it, but they had this Philly cheesesteak dip that they sent me. So I'm thinking Sunday night, we're gonna do a family game night. We haven't done one for about a month, and I'm thinking we're gonna break this out and have it as our snack where we're playing family games. So if you just are having like you need something during the holidays, like a bake and take type of thing, but you don't have time to do it, that's a great idea. They also have cookies. So they sent me a thing of chocolate chip cookies and they're all pre-portioned. They call them pucks, chocolate chip. So those were there. And then they sent me 3 different meals. So the first one that I picked was pulled pork. because I feel like you can't go wrong with that. And each bag has 2 portions, and I have 2 bags. So I got enough for my family of 4. And then I got chicken Parmesan meatballs. The pictures on their website are done so well. They're nice and big and bright. You can see the ingredients in them. And they had the meatball cut in half, you guys. These looked incredible. Now this one is served with pasta. So what I'm gonna do for my husband is actually just make him a side dish. I might grill up some zucchini and some squash or something like that, and he will have that with his Parmesan meatballs. But I think this is what we're gonna cook today. And then I also ended up getting, this sounds so good, chicken pot pie stew. So I have 2 bags of each one. Another thing that I really like the idea of this box is because you literally take everything out and you put it in the freezer. Y'all know I love a good Home Chef or a good meal delivery kit, HelloFresh, that's fresh. But sometimes like things happen, and if you don't cook that right away, you start to lose your vegetables inside the bag. We've had that happen a couple of times, and it feels like you're flushing money down the toilet. So with this, you wake up, you're like, oh crud, I don't have a plan for today. You just literally go out to your freezer, you open the bag, you put everything frozen down in your crock pot, turn it on, and you're ready to go. And the best thing is they give you a little recipe card inside that actually tells you how many portions you have, what size your crock pot is, and then how long you're gonna cook it. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm sold, and I haven't even tried it yet. I just really liked the small family feel of this company, and so I'm hoping it's gonna be good. So let me stop it. I'm gonna go ahead and open my meatballs, and I'm gonna put them down in the crock pot. I'll kind of show you what they look like. Okay, so I wanted to show you what a portion looks like. This is 1 portion. That's a lot. And then the card inside, I didn't realize this, but say you go to work or you leave for the baseball game, you're going to be gone all day, whatever you're doing, and you're like, I totally forgot to put the meal in the crock pot. They have like a quick cook option where you just thaw this under warm water and then you cook it in boiling water for 30 minutes. I mean, it's like foolproof. Even if you forget it in the morning, you could still have a meal in the evening. I think that's great. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. I just wanted to show you what a full portion is. You can kind of see the meatballs in the sauce here. Okay, the first thing that I want to say is as soon as I cut into those bags, you could smell how good that sauce is. It smells like homemade Italian sauce that's just seasoned right. It smells incredible. And from what I can tell, because it's frozen, it's kind of a block per portion. It looks like there's about 5, maybe 6 good sized meatballs in each portion. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the camera, kind of show you the inside of my crock pot, and then I will come back at the end of the day and give you our final recap. I'm gonna tell you, did I think there was enough? Did I think we should have ordered more, ordered less, and what my family thought. So stay tuned. I am back. I forgot to tell you with this particular recipe that you do get 2 bags of pasta. This is penne pasta, and this is enough for 2 people. So I only cooked 1 of the bags. I'm gonna cook this one up really quickly, but I went ahead and scooped out some pasta, and then I cut open this meatball. I don't know if you can see, but there's cheese inside this goodness. I may have already taken a bite, in full disclosure, because I was real hungry, and Dawson's already circling the kitchen. So I'm gonna take another bite. The sauce is so rich. It's got a little bit of tanginess to it. The pasta is amazing, and the meatball has the perfect consistency. It's not like falling apart. You know how sometimes in a crock pot, like meat just kind of falls apart, which sometimes you want, but with a meatball, you kind of want it to hold its shape. And I cannot believe, do you guys see the cheese in the middle of this? Winner, winner, chicken Parmesan meatball dinner. That is fabulous. This one is definitely going to be a keeper. I already know my family's going to love it, but I will give you the final recap when we go to make the next meal, which I'm going to make tomorrow because I'm kind of already hooked on this service. So stay tuned, and I will give you the update, and we will cook tomorrow's video, which I think we're going to do the pulled pork. Stay tuned. All right, I am back, and I am ready to cook the pulled pork. But before I do, I wanted to give you a quick recap on the chicken Parmesan meatballs. First of all, we cooked 4 portions, and we only ate 3. which was fabulous because my husband works from home and he loves leftovers for lunch, and I have a 16-year-old who is a bottomless eating machine. So that was enough for one of them to have something the next day, which was a win for me always. And then I also wanted to say, I grew up with my mom cooking spaghetti, and she would put a little bit of brown sugar. Some of you, this is like sacrilege, I know. She would put a little bit of brown sugar in her sauce just to kind of cut the acidity of the tomato down. So if you're used to a sweeter sauce like I am, this sauce in the chicken Parmesan meatballs is definitely more tangy. It was delicious, like delicious. Like when you go to an authentic Italian restaurant, it was fabulous. So no complaints. I just wanted to let you know that the sauce is a little bit more tangy, but chef's kiss delicious. Now, I pulled out my pulled pork this morning and realized that I had not read the cards. So note to all of you guys out there, if you order What a Crock, go ahead and read the cards that are attached to your entrees first, because it did say that this one is going to take 10 to 12 hours. Luckily, I'm starting early in the morning, so that is not going to be a problem. But it did say that this one needed to be fully thawed, which I didn't do. So I just ran it over some lukewarm water and kind of softened it up, and then I got it in the crock pot really, really quickly. So I don't have it to show to you. I will say, in the South, we love some good barbecue sauce. We pride ourselves on our barbecue sauce, and this one smells so good. So I can't wait to try it. So we'll be back in 12 hours to give you an update on how that ended up. Stay tuned. I am so ready to dive into this pulled pork. My house smells insane, and my natives, meaning my husband and my son, are ready to dive in. They're like, is it ready? Is it ready? I did turn it up for like an hour and a half to high and then turn it down for the rest of the cooking time just to speed it up. I don't know if that was allowed, but making my own rules here. The pork just pulled apart so easily. There's plenty of sauce, so whether you want a little bit of sauce or a lot, you're going to be able to do that. I'm probably going to spoon some sauce onto the top of my bun. I'm going to eat this on a hamburger bun as well as my son. However, my husband cannot have bread. Diabetes sucks, and he's going to have it plain with a side of vegetables. So I just put a little bit on my plate, and we're gonna try it. I'm a little nervous about the sauce because in the South, we pride ourselves on barbecue. We know good barbecue, and I'm super picky about sauce. So let's go ahead. I'm just gonna take a little bite because I really wanna put this on a bun. But let's give it a taste test. Oh, holy cow. Oh my goodness, that sauce is incredible. That's what I was worried about. That sauce is good. This meat is melting in my mouth. The sauce is tangy, but it's got just the hint of sweetness that I like. Oh, that's good. The boys are absolutely gonna love this. So if you decide to order from What a Crock, definitely add the pulled pork to your list. It is fabulous. All right, guys, we are back for the third round of the What a Crock meals. This particular meal, as soon as I saw it, I knew that I wanted to try it. It is a chicken pot pie stew. Does that not sound like comforting and just warm and yummy? This is what it looks like. You can kind of see the carrots and the peas and all the good vegetables inside. This is one serving. Let's talk about the servings for a minute. On the chicken Parmesan, we actually had 2 meatballs left over. I don't remember if I said that. So my husband had those for lunch the next day. The pulled pork, we ate every last drop. We are pig people here. We love the pork and we love some good barbecue. That barbecue, guys, was so good. If you get this, I would highly suggest the barbecue, but we're here to talk about the chicken stew. Now, as you can see, when you get the meals, your card is actually inside. We've talked about the card before. This one actually says that they suggest you fully thaw before cooking, or there's a quick prep that says run water over your meal to loosen and release the contents of the package. So I'm just going to do a quick prep on this because I didn't thaw anything out. I haven't thawed anything out the whole time. I've just kind of stuck it in there and it's been fine. But just wanted to point you in the direction of the correct instructions. All right, so let's get to cooking and I will let you know what this meal tastes like in just a little bit. The chicken pot pie stew is still in the crock pot. However, it is Friday evening and Dawson goes from school directly to his job where he is a server's assistant. It's a glorified busboy, but he absolutely loves it. He thinks he wants to be a chef when he graduates, so we will see. Anyway, he literally has 15 minutes to get from his classroom to his job. So I'm usually in the front of the carpool line. I have a sandwich, all of his clothes, and we usually make it with just enough time to spare. And I thought today I would surprise him along with the sandwich with some chocolate chip cookies, because they sent me a bin of their cookies to try. And y'all, these look so good. They sent the chocolate chip ones. These are loaded with chocolate chips. You do have to thaw them just a little bit. They come in a tub inside this bag, and they're stacked 2 cookies on top of each other. So if you thaw them out a little bit, they break up just a little bit easier. You bake them at 325. I think it's for 12 minutes. I'll go back and look. But I am going to cook these and take them with him when I pick him up from carpool as little treats. So thank you, What the Crock, for sending those extra cookies. They are really coming in clutch today. So hold on. I'll let you see what they look like and give you his verdict when I talk about the chicken. Right, so let's go ahead and talk about this chicken pot pie stew. The first thing I noticed after it was done was the sheer size of the ingredients. That is 1 piece of chicken. Look at the size of this carrot slice. It's crazy. Here's another carrot slice. There's corn, there's green beans, and there's potatoes in here, as well as a nice thick sauce. I did think this recipe needed a tiny bit more salt. That's just my opinion. And for me, this is the perfect meal. I love a comforting soup or stew or even a casserole. I just love those type of things. My husband, not so much. He liked the meal, and so did my daughter. Both of them said, Dawson hasn't eaten yet because he's not home from work, but both of them said, we liked it, but we don't know if we'd want to get it again. So you kind of know your family and you know what they will eat. I kind of had that feeling. I really ordered this for myself. And I ordered the pulled pork for my husband and the chicken Parmesan meatballs really for my kids. So I do feel like there's something for everyone within the subscription. Now I did go ahead and make the cookies. What I loved about that tub of cookies is there's enough for 16 in there. So I only pulled out 8. I did leave them on the counter for about 30 minutes before I broke them apart. It just made them easier because they were like a solid block, and they came out in pucks, which I already showed you. You just turn on the oven to 325 and you baked them for 12 to 15 minutes. And I took them to Dawson when I picked him up from school and took him to work. These are what they look like. He was like, Mom, these are incredible. So 2 thumbs up on the cookies. Emma is not feeling 100% tonight, and so she hasn't tried the cookies, but she saw them and she's like, can you hide a couple from Dawson so I can have them tomorrow? Sibling rivalry, right? So anyway, the cookies were a win. The chicken stew was a win for me. Everybody ate it. Nobody complained about it. They just want to try more things like the steak taco stuffed peppers. I'm still dreaming about those. Anyway, we have one more thing to try, and that is the Philly cheesesteak dip. I said in the beginning of this video, I thought we were gonna do a family game night, but I think we're gonna switch it to a family movie night, and that is going to be one of our snacks during the movie. So I'll let you know how that one goes in the next clip, but just know that if you order this, if you want leftovers, buy as many portions as people in your family, but if you don't need leftovers, I would buy 1 portion less for that one, which is a win if you're trying to save money. Okay, so on today's menu, we're gonna be trying that Philly cheesesteak dip. I cannot wait, but I wanted to reiterate and talk about the other 2 items that we just cooked a couple of days ago. Number 1, the chicken pot pie stew. I stand by what I said, that it was a little bit bland. I punched mine up with a little more salt. It made all the difference in the world. We got 4 portions of that and had 4 full bowls left over. So plenty of leftovers. My favorite leftovers are soups and stews, so I was very happy with that. If you're not a big leftover person though, I would go down 1 portion on that. And then the next day, Dawson was like, Mom, where'd you get those cookies you had yesterday? I said, oh, they're in the freezer. Do you want some more? And he said, yes, and promptly gobbled up the last of them. So I will say the cookies were a big hit. If you don't like chocolate chip cookies, if those aren't your jam, I think they have like 4 or 5 different kinds of cookies on their website, so you can definitely try those out. And today we're working on the Philly cheesesteak dip. I've already opened this and put it in the crock pot. I did leave it out for about an hour on the counter, and then I ran some lukewarm water over it just to kind of massage it and break it up a little before I put it in the crock pot. This is a full 32 ounces, so you get a good amount of this. I think having a dip in your freezer is such a brilliant idea, because whether you're hosting maybe a Super Bowl party, you're hosting Thanksgiving or Christmas, and you need a really quick appetizer you can throw in the crock pot. Maybe you're just doing, like I said, family game night or a movie night or something like that. I know at our church we have a ladies' Christmas party where everybody brings something. So if you don't have a lot of time, especially during the holidays, to make something extra, this is great just to have out in your freezer as a like make and take. I'm sure you could grab a bag of pita chips or one of those French bread loaves, pop it in the oven so it gets nice and crispy on the outside and warm on the inside, and dip that bread in that dip. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Anyway, we're gonna let this cook for a couple hours, and then I'll come back and give you my final recap. All right, who's ready for a taste test? I am. So it says this takes between 2 to 4 hours to be ready, because I had set this out on the counter for about an hour and let it start to thaw. I think mine just took 2 hours. I think that kind of helped it along. It is creamy. It is chunky with meat. You can see some green peppers in there. Everything you love about a Philly cheesesteak. This is just some pita chips that I had in the cabinet. These are my favorite pita chips, actually. I just bought them to go with some hummus, and they're like the perfect crispiness. Anyway, it's not about the pita chip. It's about the cheese dip. Let's see. So you can see the chunkiness of the meat in there, and you can see some green pepper. Oh my gosh. That melts in your mouth, and it tastes exactly like a Philly cheesesteak. This is my favorite of all of them. You can taste the green pepper, a little bit of that onion. The cheese is perfect. It's not like too sharp or overpowering, and you get that bite with the meat. I do think I'm gonna go get a crusty French bread loaf and dip some of this in. I have a feeling this is gonna be dinner, and I'm gonna be two-fisting it the rest of the day. I'm gonna taste one more bite just to make sure it's good the second time as well as the first. Holy cow. This is the best. You must have that in your freezer. That is so incredibly good. I have to say, I love the idea of what a crock. I love that you can just take things and put them in your freezer and be able to grab as you go if you haven't had time to meal plan or go to the grocery store. I thought all the meals are done really well. I love that they have side dishes as well as entrees, over 50 entrees, and all of them are made by actual chefs and then frozen for you. So don't forget, I have that 15% off coupon. Thank you to What a Crock for sending that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon for another one. Bye-bye, guys.